Whoa. Okay, I think we're live. Okay. We're gonna we're gonna try this. We're gonna see if everything goes well. I haven't done this before. I haven't done this before. Okay. I think it's actually going well. Okay. It's actually going well. Okay. We're gonna share this. Perfect. Perfect. I'm gonna try a few things here. I woke up like not that long ago, so yes. Hello. Okay. We're doing it. Okay. Hello, I'm Cameron. You may know me for your consideration, the live streams, Jason videos, and the reason why all the neighborhood dogs are missing. But today we're doing something a little bit different. We are going to be going through my movie collection here. Uh, it's not the greatest collection in the world. There are a couple of stinkers in here, especially when we get down to DVDs. But I have to look up there. The webcam's right there. Everything sounds good. Perfect. Everything's going perfect. Uh, So I've wanted to do this for a long time. I always think it's cool when like people go through a movie collection, and we're gonna try it out here. We're gonna start with my box sets, and then my Criterion Blu-rays, and then my regular Blu-rays, and then on the bottom shelf here, you can't see it, we have DVDs. But I think we could just get right into it. Hopefully, nothing goes wrong. I'm gonna try some. Hairline. Yeah, I just woke up like a few hours ago. Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do one more thing. Yeah, my hairline. Yeah, forehead today. So we're gonna start with Blu-rays. We're starting to start with box sets, Criterion's, Blu-rays, DVDs. We might do video games too. I don't know if we'll do video games at all, but I think it's something that'd be pretty fun. Like I think I own more movies than games. I have books, but I don't think we'll talk about books at all. But yeah, we're gonna be like a little bit kind of, I guess, kind of reviewing these movies too, actually. So I think we'll just get into it. We're gonna get into it here. First box set. The James Bond collection on Blu-ray comes with every single James Bond movie up from 1962 to 2015. So all the way from Dr. No to Spectre. I love James Bond. James Bond is my favorite film franchise of all time. You can lie down, Godzilla. Godzilla doesn't even come close to how much I love James Bond. I have seen all of these movies at least 5 times. I love James Bond. There are some I like more than others. I guess we should do a brief overview of the James Bond movies. Doctor No wouldn't be nerd. Yeah, without yeah, this is my favorite box set I have currently. I have like 2 others, and I plan to get more. But my favorite Sega is Indiana Jones. That's still going. I keep forgetting Indiana Jones is still going. But Doctor No, the first James Bond movie, has a very classic feel to it. It's one of the only reasons why I go back to it. For Much with Love steals a little too much from Hitchcock. Goldfinger, everyone should watch Goldfinger. Everyone has to watch Goldfinger. Thunderball has sort of the classic feel of Doctor No, but it's the beginning of Sean Connery looking really bored. There's like 24 movies in here. There's 24 movies. I don't even think I have time to go through all these movies. But shoot, my favorite Bond film fluctuates. It's either License to Kill, GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies is a really underrated Bond film. There is another James Bond box set. It's like bigger and wide. I think it's like the 50th anniversary box set. I do prefer this one. I do prefer this one though because it's just smaller and compact. It fits on my bookshelf. What I think the newer Bonds, the Daniel Craig era is an acquired taste. I really hate Spectre. I really hate Quantum of Solace. I love Casino Royale and I love Skyfall. Skyfall is probably the best movie out of them all. It may not be the best Bond movie in terms of like the Bond criteria, but Skyfall is amazing. I hate Spectre. I can't wait for No Time to Die to come out. That's the only movie I'm hyped for. So yeah, James Bond. The Sam Raimi SpiderMan Trilogy. It's formatted like a book. You open it up, and here's the first movie. Here's the second movie. Here's the third movie. It's falling out. And here's the bonus disc. And I think that's all that's in there. But yeah, this is formatted like a little book. It gives you a little piece of trivia about everything. They got good like production images and stuff. I love this. I don't like superhero movies that much. I really don't. It's like the genre that and like war movies and romance movies. But these are very fun movies. Sam Raimi is a genius, and he should make more superhero movies. I hear he's coming back for Doctor Strange too, so I guess that means I have to watch the first Doctor Strange movie. Uh, these movies are stupid and silly and bad, but they know they are, and that's why these movies will be remembered in the stupid freaking. These movies will outlive the Amazing Spider-Man duology and whatever the heck Sony's doing with Tom Holland. Like, I'm sorry, Tom. Like, you can't measure up. This movie has brilliant casting. Everyone is cast perfectly in this. It's so good. Great villains. My favorite one has to be the first one because you can't say no to Willem Dafoe. Like, he is the only reason why I love. He was not the only reason why I love the first movie. I watched this 1, 3, 2. I skipped down the second one, and I watched the second one when I got this. And so the second one's all right. I guess the second one is the best movie out of them all. It has good drama, but I feel like it kind of clashes in tone with like more silly stuff. And 3 is off the rails. I don't know why anyone could hate 3. 3 is off the rails. It kind of was a big middle finger to Sony from Sam Raimi, but great movies. Hopefully, Tobey Maguire will be in whatever the new Tom Holland movie is. But yeah, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. Rush Hour, the Rush Hour trilogy. I love the Rush Hour trilogy. These are dated and bad, but they're so funny. Chris Tucker and Jackie. The only reason why I own these movies is because of Jackie Chan. I love Jackie Chan so much. He's one of my favorite action stars. Police Story is one of the greatest action films of all time. The first Spider-Man movie, your favorite? Mine too. That movie is awesome. Impressive. But yeah, the Rush Hour trilogy. Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan, kung fuing it up in Los Angeles, Hong Kong, and Paris. These movies are dated and horrible. Like, you could not make Rush Hour 2 in modern age. It is so unapologetically racist, and that's why this is a time capsule. Like, the first 2 movies are time capsule movies, and the ending for the third one is just so wacky. These aren't good like Jackie Chan films. Like, if you're like, I went into this thinking, oh boy, it's gonna be Jackie Chan. I loved, yeah, they do censor Jackie Chan saying in the TV edit. They censor Jackie Chan saying the N-word. I don't know if they do it here. I haven't seen the Blu-ray for Rush Hour. I only saw Rush Hour 2 and 3 because I've already seen Rush Hour 1. Very good packaging too. I love this box. I love this box. I kept the sleeve for this. Very good art. Very good art. But yeah, it's not really a good showcase of what Jackie Chan can do. It's more of a comedy action piece. And I think with the second one, Jackie Chan brought in some of his dudes to help with the martial arts, but it's still impressive nonetheless. There are still some decent stunts. It is very funny. Most of the comedy comes from the racism in this. There is a lot of racism in the second movie, and it's just so unapologetically racist. It's a time capsule movie. Of course, I don't agree with things they say in here, but I just find it so funny because you can't make these movies anymore. You can't make movies like this anymore. So yeah, my favorite one might be two or one. Everyone hates three. I do love three. Three is the ending for three is bonkers. Rumble the Bronx is a great movie. I think that was my first Jackie Chan movie actually. But yeah, the Rush Hour trilogy. Okay, now we're moving on to Criterions. Now we're going to Criterions. My pride and joy of Criterions. Godzilla. Godzilla. I think it's reversed actually. Never mind, it's not. All right. Godzilla, the original Godzilla, 1954. Ishiro Honda directed Godzilla, the granddaddy of monster movies, even though King Kong may be the granddaddy of monster movies. My first Criterion. I got this because I wanted to see the first Godzilla movie. Great movie. This and Shin Godzilla battle for my favorite Godzilla movie. Very sad. There's no like cheese in it. It's all played very, very well. Most all the Godzilla movies are played very straight. Most of them. But this one has a lot of drama in it. It's pretty much a war drama about the horrors of nuclear war. And if you open it up, this folds out, and it's the Millennium era Godzilla. This is actually from I'm pretty sure it's from Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla, because Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla is a direct sequel to the original Gojira. Great special effects, groundbreaking. Will always stand the test of time. This also comes with the American re-edit, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Not to be confused with 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters, but this is the American 1957 Godzilla King of the Monsters with Raymond Burr. Terrible, 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 terrible movie. Do not watch it. It cuts out all like the political messages and anti-war things. It just turns into like a monster romp. And if you're into that sort of thing, then that's fine. But like the political drama is what makes the first one. And it's the reason why it's probably one of my favorites. I don't own I know Criterion has a box set of the entire Showa era Godzilla series, and I've been looking to get that. I've heard bad things about the packaging and all of them, but I haven't had a problem. So yeah, Gojira. Night of the Living Dead. Not old. Your favorite Godzilla movie is Monster Zero. I have to look at that one next. It's like a trilogy. It's like Godzilla versus Mothra, Ghidorah the three-headed monster, and then Godzilla versus Monster Zero. It's like in a little trilogy. Very few times Godzilla movies have had continuity. But Night of the Living Dead, not old. The original zombie movie. I made a for your consideration about this. For your consideration, also my favorite for your consideration thing I've ever done. Yeah, like everyone should see Night of the Living Dead. It is the quintessential zombie movie. This I really, in the original George Romero Dead trilogy, like this sometimes comes out on top. Sometimes I like Dawn of the Dead. Sometimes I like Day of the Dead. But this movie is an absolute classic. Public domain, very easy to watch. Very short too. I think it's only like an hour, and it's like 96 minutes. Cue reverse laughing. uh, Very impressive for its time. Kickstarted George Romero's career. Rest in peace, George A. Romero. But there isn't really much I can say about this movie that hasn't already been said. Everyone should watch this movie. I'm very glad I own the Criterion for this. Great cover too. Pull out the things for it. It comes with a poster. I'm not going to unfold it because I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to unfold it back. Comes in 2 discs, and look at that. Yeah, I love Criterion. Criterion always has like awesome releases. Hopefully, they can get the rights to the other 2 Dead movies. I would love to see them do like a trilogy box set of this, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. But I don't think that will ever happen, sadly. The Elephant Man. Oh, The Elephant Man. David Lynch. David Lynch is my favorite director of all time. I don't think that'll change for a while. I love David Lynch. He's known for his out there, weird artistic approaches. This is his second movie. He went from Eraserhead to this, which is a studio period piece movie, which is a very strange. I consider this to be one of the big 3, like one of the big 3 most important movies in David Lynch's career. Like Eraserhead, that I think that put him on the up and up. It got him. The Eraserhead got him the job for Elephant Man. And Elephant Man was nominated for 8 Academy Awards. That put him on the map. And of course, that led him to making Dune, where he met Kyle MacLachlan, and Kyle MacLachlan be in Blue Velvet, and most notably Twin Peaks. I don't know if I'll ever be revisiting The Elephant Man. I would like to do a for your consideration on this. This is probably the most like pulled back, one of the best. Yes, this is a great movie. But I would love to do it for your consideration on this. It's a really pulled back David Lynch film, but it still has all the David Lynch hallmarks. I really feel it has the weird editing, sound design. In this movie is great. I love the look. The look is so good. 1980, this came out. Could you imagine going to see a black and white film in 1980? I don't think it won any Oscars or Academy Awards. It was nominated for 8. But yeah, Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt. Could you imagine just like David Lynch working with like just a bunch of nobodies, and then he's working with Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt? I think this is actually the second Criterion I ever bought. It's this and another movie we'll get to later. I bought 2, like a couple of like months after I bought Godzilla. But yeah, The Elephant Man. You should watch it. It's a good movie. I think it has a 4K release now, actually. I would show you the inside of The Elephant Man, but I don't think it's safe for YouTube. Best makeup. It won best makeup. It did. Oh shoot. Well, if it should have won for anything, was it nominated for best production design? I'm not sure. All I know, it was nominated for like 8 Academy Awards. The Grand Budapest Hotel. Wes Anderson. The only Wes Anderson film I've seen. I think all of Wes Anderson films are on Criterion. This is the only one I own. Very stylized, very profound, very extravagant. Everything. It's one of those movies where like every time period has like a certain framing device. It's a very colorful film, but it's shot very dull in terms of like the color. Like the lighting is very dull, but everything's very colorful. Like the colors don't pop out; they're just kind of saturated in. When Wes Anderson kind of got his groove on, he started getting a bunch of people in. Like Bill Murray's in this movie, Adrian Brody, Willem Dafoe, Jude Law, Harvey Keitel, Jeff Goldblum, Matthew Amalric. Said that name correctly. Very funny movie. I think this is a good example of British comedy. I need to see more of Wes Anderson's movie. I would love to see Fantastic Mr. Fox with George Clooney. But I say if you were getting into Wes Anderson, I think this is a good place to start. It's a very easy movie to watch, and I would also love to do a for your consideration on this. It's a very great movie, and it's It's pink on the inside. One thing I don't understand about this Criterion is that the back is like it's like taped on or something. I thought it was a packaging error, but I think like, I've seen other Criterions that have it like this, and I don't understand. Otherwise, this is a good packaging, but I'm always scared this will come off. Sadly, yeah, very. Yeah, Mr. I've heard Fantastic Mr. Fox is great. One of the only few animated Criterion movies that are on the Criterion Collection. But it's Wes Anderson. You gotta have it on there. I wish Wes Anderson would market his films better. Like I felt like if he marketed his films better, he would get more money. But you know what can you do? Wes Anderson, the Grand Budapest Hotel. Blue Velvet, probably my favorite David Lynch film. This movie is amazing. Everyone should watch. I would love to do a for your consideration on Blue Velvet. Blue Velvet is a great movie. It's a great thriller. It has Kyle MacLachlan and Dennis Hooper. Dennis Hooper gives the performance of his lifetime. I'd argue this is one of the greatest villain performances I've ever seen in a movie. In Blue Velvet, very dark, gritty, sadistic. There's a great scene with Brad Dourif where he sings "In Dreams" by Ray Orbison, and Kyle MacLachlan is just like staring at him while Dennis Hooper's off to the side, just like in the background. And I think this is my third Criterion. One thing I will say about the David Lynch Criterions is that they don't have main menu selections, which is stupid because David Lynch is like, if you want to watch a movie, you have to sit through it all the way. And I agree. I agree. That's how I watch my movies. But I think when I first watched this, I was very tired. And I was like, okay, I have to go to sleep. I don't want to fall asleep watching David Lynch's movie. So I wake up the next day and I can't find the main like the scene selection. So I'm like, oh, what the heck, David? I think I ended up rewatching it. Like, I don't think I skipped, but I remember Roger Ebert hated this movie, especially with Isabella Rossellini. It's like David Lynch abuses Isabella Rossellini. Like he makes her strip, he makes her and all this. But Isabella Rossellini was like, "What are you talking about? I'm fine." Like David Lynch and Isabella Rossellini were dating during the making of this movie. Like 120 minutes, fairly long movie. It's a bit of a slow point in the middle, like most movies, but it's a great thriller. Probably my favorite Lynch. I haven't seen Mulholland Drive. I really do love Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. That may be a contender for another favorite. I love Fire Walk with Me. I don't own it, sadly. But yeah, Blue Velvet. My other second Criterion, Tokyo Drifter. Look at that cover. Look at that cover. That is a awesome. This cover sold me on the movie. I saw this cover at a Barnes and Noble, and I was like, "This movie looks awesome. I have to get this movie." And a couple of months later, I did get this movie from Seijun Suzuki, most known for his like noir gangster Japanese movies. He actually directed a Lupin the Third movie, a movie we will certainly be talking about for your consideration very soon. Tokyo Drifter, Seijun Suzuki. It is a very short movie, only 82 minutes. All movies should be 82 minutes. If all movies were 82 minutes, I would have seen more movies. It is a very, very fast-paced movie, especially in the editing. There is a shootout scene in like the middle of the movie where like the two characters having a standoff, they start shooting, then it just cuts to the aftermath. It's just fast-paced editing like this throughout the entire movie. Great soundtrack. It looks beautiful too. For 1966 Japanese cinema was like the most beautiful thing in the world. Jazzy, just full of like bright clothes and neon signs. The main character wears like a baby blue suit, and I'm like, God, that looks so awesome. This is part of a genre I like to call effortlessly cool. Like the main character in this is just a badass. All right, he is just amazing, and I do love it when Criterion does like the actual like boxes instead of like the plastic cases instead of like the cardboard boxes I have. But this poster, man, this box art sold me on Tokyo Drifter. I think it's still on YouTube. That's how I watched it originally. I don't think it's subtitled, but definitely pick up this movie. Like this movie is so much fun. It's so good, so fast too. Like I would watch this like every couple of weeks because I'm like I want something on the background. This movie is very easy to watch, very fun to watch. Uh, Seijun Suzuki's Tokyo Drifter. Everyone should watch this movie. The thin red line. Terrence Malick. Haven't seen it yet. Can't comment. You want to know why I haven't seen it yet? Because the movie is 171 minutes. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes. I have a hard time watching long movies because I'm a teenager. I have a low attention span. But this is a very long movie. I bought this solely because I wanted to watch a war movie because I'm not really into the war genre. I think they're a little too depressing. But I was like, if I had to watch a war movie, then Terrence Malick should be the first one I watch. I did see Badlands. I saw Badlands with Martin Sheen a few weeks ago. Great movie. It's a Criterion for that. I plan to pick up the Criterion for Badlands. I say watch it alone just for Martin Sheen's performance, but Terrence Malick is one of those directors who usually always knows he always knows what he's doing. I don't think he leaves his movies up to chance. This movie is star-studded too. It's got Sean Penn, like Woody Harrelson. I think Adrian Brody's also in this. George Clooney is in this. There's also a good poster too. Yeah. The name alone sold me on this. Like the Thin Red Line. Like that's just a good name. Based on the book, I haven't read the book. I recommend Casualties of War. I think I've heard of that actually. I think I've heard of that. But so I haven't seen this yet. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it for your consideration. This is a very interesting movie. I plan to watch other Terrence Malick films. I know Criterion has The Trees of Life, Days of Heaven. I think that's it. I can't remember. And Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, I need to watch Full Metal Jacket. That's like a good Kubrick movie I haven't watched yet. But yeah, haven't seen it yet. The Thin Red Line, Terrence Malick. Haven't seen it yet. Can't comment. Okay. We're done with Criterions. Now we're moving on to Blu-rays. We're moving on to Blu-rays now. Shin Godzilla. Probably at the moment my favorite Godzilla movie. This and the original Godzilla like jump between my favorite. Let's look at this box though. It's like jet black with like the deep red. It's so cool. I love this. There are some things that the original does better. This is like kind of like a political commentary on this. They drew a lot of inspiration from like natural disasters at the time of making this. I think it's also the next jumping off point of the current mainline Japanese Godzilla series, because we have the MonsterVerse here in America with like King Kong versus Godzilla and like Godzilla King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island. This is the Japanese return. Like the reason why this exists is because the American movies did so good. Very funny movie too. There's a lot of like kind of like dark comedy in this. Great special effects. Holy crap. This movie looks beautiful. Probably my favorite Godzilla design. There's like Godzilla goes through phases in this movie, and he becomes like Godzilla towards the end. Hideki Anno directs this, same guy who does Neon Genesis Evangelion. He directed this, and they used some of the music from Evangelion in this. They also reused some older music from like the Showa era series, which is a very inspired choice. I think there's a four. I think there's actually a 4K case. I don't know. I can't tell if this is like a creative choice or not. But I love Shin Godzilla. Great movie. Everyone should watch it. This one has a dub on it. I haven't seen the dub. I think Funimation did the dub. Yeah, this was like distributed by Funimation, the anime guys. So this was interesting. I tried watching the English dub. I just couldn't. But regardless, no matter how you slice it, this is a good movie. Shin Godzilla. We have 2 more Godzilla films on Blu-ray here. 2014 Godzilla. Who directed this? Gareth Edwards. What else did Gareth Edwards do? I think I know him from other things. Shoot, what else did Gareth Edwards do? I can't remember. But 2014 American Godzilla kickstarted the MonsterVerse. It's pretty good. This movie's way too dark. Like I couldn't see a goddamn thing. Great cast too, like Bryan Cranston, Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah, just good cast. Very good action, a lot of suspense. They actually, like most Godzilla films, suffer from the main characters, like being a safe distance, and they're watching the destruction. But in this, since the main character is like a military dude, he's in the action. Like some of my favorite Godzilla movies are where the main characters are military, so they have to fight Godzilla, so they're always in danger. And that's what this is. This movie is like pretty much constant danger, and I love it. I love it. The beginning part in Japan is just amazing. Probably one of my favorite like monster things in any movie. And the rest of the movie's pretty good too. I think the 3D version of this movie is like a bit brighter, so you can see it better. It's a really reflective case. Look how reflective it is. Look at that. But good movie. I haven't seen King of the Monsters. I haven't seen Kong Skull Island, and I haven't seen Kong versus Godzilla. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. Hopefully I can watch the other ones. I want to watch the other MonsterVerse Godzilla movies. So yeah, 2014's Godzilla. I almost said King Kong. The American version of King Kong versus Godzilla from 1963. This was the very first for your consideration. Fun movie. It cuts out a lot of the comedy from the Japanese version, which I think is terrible because the Japanese version is pretty funny. Decent transition. I hate the Blu-ray for this because it's just a clear blue. I hate it when they do this. It looks terrible. It's just a clear disc with the name of the movie. Like, come on, give me something a little bit better. Released by Universal. The dub is actually fine. Like the dub isn't actually that bad. Like I think like the dubs from the 60s are really hokey and they just feel off, and that kind of is funny on its own. But it's all right. They added American footage, which isn't as bad as people make it out to be. It's not that intrusive, but I would not care if it'd be gone. Like definitely watch the Japanese version. This is the only version available in America if you want to watch this. I know the Criterion of the Showa Era Godzilla series has the Japanese version, so that's kind of like a big selling point. It's like, oh, we have the Japanese version, which hopefully when I get that, I can finally get rid of this. King Kong versus Godzilla, the American version. All right, we're done with Godzilla for a little bit. I need a drink of water. I love Godzilla. So many movies though. Yeah. And I'm like sitting on the floor, like my legs hurt, my feet hurt. All right, next. Castle in the Sky, my very first Studio Ghibli movie. Everybody should watch Castle in the Sky. Everybody should watch Studio Ghibli. My first Ghibli movie. Uh, I watched this in the dub only because Mark Hamill is the villain, and Mark Hamill is amazing in everything he's in. Mark Hamill is so good in this. This is technically the very first Studio Ghibli film. I know people say Nausicaa, the Valley of the Winds is, but that was before they founded Ghibli. But it doesn't matter because we have Castle in the Sky. Great little, not really science fiction, but great little adventure film where these two kids should definitely be traumatized by the ends of it. Great visuals. This is like a great example of just good Ghibli visuals, which is, what they're known for. But most of it's just constant moving along. There are some quiet parts, but it's just constantly moving along, which is good. It's a relatively short film, 125 minutes. It's not that short, but it moves along pretty fast. The movie, of course, hits like a big bump. I think all Ghibli movies just have a big bump, but it's not really a problem because this movie is beautiful. It's a romp. Watch this with your friends. Very fun movie. I haven't seen this in the Japanese version. I do like the dub. When G Kids they release these movies. G Kids right there, yeah. G Kids they do like most of the releases for Ghibli movies nowadays, and they pull out all the stops for the English dub. They got like Michael Keaton, they got Mark Hamill, Christian Bale, like all these people to be in the English dubs. And I'm like, that's amazing. They did that. Wow. They were able to do all that. But yeah, I still think this is one of my favorite Ghibli movies. Everyone should watch this. Castle in the Sky. We're going on to my Ghiblis, actually. I think all my anime movies are in a row, so we're getting some anime up in here. Kiki's Delivery Service. This movie is a delight. This movie is an absolute delight. This movie just makes me happy. It just makes me very happy. I think I've seen the Japanese version for this. Like I said, all the Ghibli dubs are fairly good. Star-studded, of course. Kirsten Dunst is in this one, most known for her role in Spider-Man as Mary Jane. So that kind of ruined that for me. But a very feel-good movie. This is one of the shorter Ghibli movies, actually, I think. Yeah, only 102 minutes. It's not a very long movie. Very feel-good movie. Of course, this movie has a little bump towards the middle, but it's just a feel-good. I had the pleasure of seeing this in theaters, and I think that heightened my appreciation for this movie. But of course, it's just fun no matter how you slice it. Great visuals. This movie has a lot of good Ghibli visuals that I think a lot of people will enjoy. Good music too. I think this is one of the Ghibli movies that has like the best soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks. Not my favorite one though. We'll get to that one next. But great little movie. There's like a live action remake. The same guy who did the Ju-on movies, like the Greg Ju-on The Grudge, like that guy directed the live action remake. I think it's an adaptation actually. I think this is actually most Ghibli movies are actually based on stories. Like Castle in the Sky, I'm pretty sure is based on a story. Whisper of the Heart is based on a story. Howl's Moving Castle is based on a story. But yeah, I don't know. Kiki's Delivery Service. Everyone should watch it. Oh. Whisper of the Heart. My favorite movie of all time. I love this movie to bits. Everyone should watch Whisper of the Heart. It is my favorite movie of all time. That's probably not going to change anytime soon. So full of heart. It is made for the artist. This movie just understands how an artist feels, how they work, how they just develop. And that's the character journey of this movie. The main character goes through an artist's journey. And all right, it's just a good movie, like regardless. Like it is a romance movie. I'm not really into romance movies that much, but it's just such a good movie. Like I cried so many times watching this. It's such a brilliant movie. This movie understands me. It understands a lot of people. This movie touches a lot of people, like personally, as it did for me. I saw this in theaters too. Watch the Japanese version. Uh, I feel like the characters get through a lot better in this. But if you have to watch the dub, it's fine. Carrie Ells is in the dub. He plays the Baron, which is hilarious. But just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful movie. My favorite film of all time, Whisper of the Heart. I would love to do it for your consideration on this. I would have to figure out how to do it properly because this movie means so much to me. But it's my favorite film of all time, Whisper of the Heart. Spirited Away, the final Ghibli I own. I saw this in theaters too. I actually saw Whisper of the Heart 2 in theaters, but Spirited Away, it's probably Ghibli's best. Like all things considered, it is probably the greatest Ghibli film they've ever made. This movie is just so awesome. I saw this. I dropped it. I saw this one night and I watched it 2 more times because there are just so many great things about Spirited Away. The music, the acting, the visual. The visuals are great. This is probably the best looking Ghibli movie, in my opinion. But hold on. Very beautiful. Everyone should watch this movie. When the only Ghibli movie to win Best Animated Feature, and that's the reason why I saw this. It says it right there. The only reason why I bought this is because I was going into a Barnes and Noble one day with $50, and I was like, all right, I want the Dirty Harry collection, and I want the a Blu-ray for Castle in the Sky. I couldn't find Castle in the Sky. I wasn't to pick up My Neighbor Totoro, but I found this, and I saw the header on it, and I was like, whoa, this movie must be pretty good. So I bought it, watched it after watching the Dirty Harry movies, and I saw it, and I was like, this movie's amazing. So yeah, everyone should watch Spirited Away, Hayao Miyazaki's magnum opus, my opinion. Great movie, Spirited Away. Ugh. Mirai from Mamoru Hosoda. A great little movie. This movie is so good. I think it was my favorite movie that I saw in 2020, not of 2020. This came out in when did it come out? 2019. This came out in 2019. It was a year off. But I saw this in 2020. I love this movie so much. Great movie about family, about values, and just where you come from. It's so good. It's a short movie too. Mamoru Hosoda will be, I think, is going to be a big deal later on. He is going to be a big deal. Like I need to see more of his movies. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Summer Wars. I would love to watch Wolf Children, but I don't want to be deemed as a furry. So fuck that. We'll skip out on that one. But I think it's a very personal movie for him. This is Mirai is the name of Mamoru Hosoda's daughter. So he pretty much made this movie for her. But yeah, just very cute movie. This movie made me cry in the first 5 minutes. So yeah, everyone should watch this. Mirai. This movie also has the terrible thing where Blu-ray is just the disc is just a clear disc. Why would you do that? That's horrible. Give me like for the Ghibli's, they have like good like disc design. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hold on a sec. Let me check something. Yeah, okay. And I had to get things sorted out. All right, next movie. Next movie. Lupin the Third and the Castle of Cagliostro, the Castle of Cagliostro, the Castle of Cholesterol. This is a great Lupin Third movie. It's probably the best Lupin Third movie, even though I think that Lupin Through the First may have something to say about that, but I do love this movie. The collector's edition. There's a 4K of this, actually. I was very surprised. But this is probably the best Lupin the Third film we're going to get. But like I said, the Lupin the Third, the First, may have something to say about that. But such a good movie. It has a lot of problems, though. Like the pacing is the biggest problem. Like, of course, towards the middle, it slumps. Yeah, like once Lupin escapes the castle for like the second time, it's like, okay, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. And the latter half of the movie has a very slow moving feel to it. Because the first half of the movie is very fast paced, like constant action and suspense is happening. Hayao Miyazaki's first movie, you may know him for Studio Ghibli. This was his first movie. He was very involved in Lupin towards its beginning. In the beginning, uh, his involvement probably makes it the reason why it's one of the best. I love this movie so much. I love this movie. It has all the dubs. David Hayter plays Lupin in the 2000 dub, actually. David Hayter, who plays Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid franchise, he voices Lupin. So that's the reason why I watch this in the dub, because so I can hear David Hayter, which is amazing. And of course, they have an interview on here where they ask him about certain things about Lupin. And of course, they're like, "So what's the difference between Lupin and Solid Snake?" And he's like, "Oh boy." But it is a great, fun movie. Everyone should watch it. Lupin the Third, The Castle of Cholesterol. Lupin the Third, The Legend of the Gold of Babylon. The hold There was strange psychokinetic strategy, Secret of Mamo, Castle Cagliostro, and this. So this is the fourth theatrically released Lupin Third movie. If anyone tells you that is the second, and this one is the first, they're lying. This is not the first theatrically released Lupin movie, but Lupin Third, the Secret of the Gold of Babylon. Seijun Suzuki also directed this. He kind of co-directed it. Same guy who did Tokyo Drifter. That's the guy. This did not have a release in the West for the longest time, but then Discotech picked it up and like, hey, we're gonna release it and give it a dub. So they brought in the cast from like part 2 and 4 to dub it, which is amazing. And that's one of the reasons why this movie has kind of gained some notoriety again. It is a very fun movie, very fast paced. The first half is just absolutely boring, but it definitely picks up. And if you take it out the sleeve, it has a reversible image. I like this box art better, but I'm going to keep the sleeve because I want to keep the sleeve. Look at that. Great little movie. There will be a for your consideration for Lupin the Third, The Legend of the Gold of Babylon. Expect a very good for your consideration about Lupin the Third. Not one of my favorites, but this does rank pretty high because it's one of those few Lupin the Third movies where the quality is quite through the roof. pretty fun movie. It's available on like a lot of streaming services. It's on Retro Crush. It's on like Amazon Prime. So you're gonna see this a lot everywhere, which is good. That means this movie is finally getting more attention. So yeah, Lupin Third: The Legend of the Golden Babylon. All right, we got one more. We got one more Lupin. We got one more. Lupin Third. Bye Bye Lady Liberty, not Lady Liberty Crisis. That's another title. The first TV special, because after this there were so many goddamn TV specials. Probably my favorite TV special, even though I am partial to Hemingway Papers. Another one with a reversible cover. I hate this cover. And it has one of those weird things where it has like the brackets on the thing. You gotta pop them out, and then you can open it. I think Bob the Builder is in this dub. I think Bob the Builder voices Lupin in this. I'm pretty sure. Which is endlessly hilarious. Who they don't tell me who, they don't credit the voice actors on the back of the box. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Bob the Builder voices Lupin in this, which is endlessly hilarious. But yeah, probably the best TV special out of all the Lupins. I would like to do a for your consideration on this. Very weird, a lot of I felt like it took the TV format and kind of used it to its advantage. Of course, you know, you couldn't go all out raunchy Lupin. Like the Legend of the Golden Babylon was really raunchy. Had a lot of like sexy things in there that kind of pushed, you know, a lot of boundaries. I think kind of crossed the line a few times. Well, it almost did. This movie plays it safe a lot. If I keep forgetting who voices Bob the Builder, because I know Bob the Builder is in this. I found this out like a few months ago, but it's a very short Lupin movie. It's only it's only 96 minutes because, you know, it's a TV movie, but it's fun. You know, the first half is all right, I guess. It gets more wacky and crazy as it goes. So yeah, this is a very fun watch. I'd recommend this. Lupin Third. Bye Bye Lady Liberty. All right, now we're done with Lupin. Finally, we can finally put it to rest. All right. Osamu Tezuka's Metropolis. His list of achievements include being the granddaddy of anime and having a name I probably brutally mispronounced. Apparently he saw a clip of the original Metropolis, like Fritz Lang's Metropolis, and saw like the picture of like that lady's head in the machine. It was like, I gotta make a manga about this, and then they adapted it. It was written by the guy who made Akira, and some guy came Rentaro directed it. He's most known for Galaxy Express 1999. I watched this a few days ago. It was actually pretty good. It is. I expect this to be like brilliant, but it's most certainly a slog towards the first like 20 minutes. But once it picks up, it picks up. I really hate the music in this. The music is absolutely terrible. It tries to go for like a 1920s jazzy kind of feel, and I absolutely hate it. This Blu-ray also doesn't have any special features. If you're gonna get this movie, get like the Steelbook. Get like the anniversary edition Steelbook. This does not have any special features. Mill Creek released this. Mill Creek kind of has a weird track record when it comes to Blu-ray releases. But apparently Roger Ebert says on the box, one of the best animated films I have ever seen. Okay, Roger Ebert, whatever you say, you old hack. I think he's dead. But yeah, I haven't seen the original Metropolis. I really feel like I should. That's also on Criterion. But it's a good movie. I would recommend this. I think it's a fun movie. I like collecting weird ass anime movies like this and Perfect Blue and Lupin the Third movies. But this is definitely interesting film to have. But if you're gonna get this, I'd say get the Steelbook. It has more stuff to it. You're gonna get more than just the movie. But if you just want to watch the movie, then this is fine. I bought this for like $7.50, and I got what I got for it. Metropolis, good movie. Ouch. I think this is my last anime movie. Okay, it is my last anime. A Silent Voice. Haven't seen it yet. Can't comment. I know people tell me this should have won Best Picture, and I haven't seen it yet. But I do know the director. The director, what's her name? What's her name? Naoko Yamada. Naoko Yamada also directed the K-On! Anime series and the K-On! Movie, and those are some of my favorite things that Japan has ever done. K-On! Is a series that is just pure and just fun and just innocent, and I love it. And the movie is just that. So after I watched that, I was like, oh man, I gotta see what other movies she directed. And I felt like, oh shoot, I already own one of her movies. So this is definitely because of her like association with this movie, it's definitely bumped it up. Uh it's definitely bumped up and like, like, oh, I should probably watch this movie. I heard it's very sad. I'm expecting to cry. I think Shout Factory released this. Don't have a lot of Shout Factory DVDs or Blu-rays. I plan to watch this soon. It looks great. I need to watch more of her stuff. I need to buy the K-On! Anime and movie, but it's pretty hard to find. It's pretty expensive. But for now, Silent Voice, can't comment. All right, now we're finally done with anime. We can move on. Move on to worser things like Frozen. I don't know why I own this. I don't like this movie. There are some things I like about it. Like I think a good deal of the music is really good. I loved Anna and Kristoff, and it's a shame they kind of got rid of him for the second movie. Elsa sucks as a character. She sucks. Best animated movie of the year. When did this come out? This came out in. When did this come out? 2014. What else came out in 2014? What other animated movies came out in 2014? I don't know. I hate Olaf. He's one of the most annoying characters. Josh Gad, however, is a pretty fine person. I would like to sit down and talk with Josh Gad at one point. He seems like a very fun fellow. But Frozen, it's okay. I might get rid of this. Monsters University. Can't comment. Haven't seen it. I love Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Monsters Inc. I love that movie. So that's why I have this. So I was like, oh, I gotta see how it all started. But I haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's actually pretty decent. But for now, I cannot comment on Monsters University. One thing I can comment on, though, is this bad movie. Okay, it isn't bad. Finding Dory isn't that bad of a movie. I think the disc has fallen out. No, it's fine. It's all right. I like Finding Nemo better. But then again, Finding Nemo is an all right movie. I really don't. The reason why I don't like this movie that much is because I really don't like Ellen DeGeneres that much. I think she's a fake person with a fake everything. But this movie looks really good. Like it is like aesthetically, like the water effects are great in this movie. I just don't like the movie. There really isn't much I can say about this. Everything with Merlin and Nemo are probably my favorite parts of the movie. When it cuts back to Dory, I just kind of check out. But yeah, it's all right. Finding Dory, it's okay. Right, now we're finally moving back into the realm of reality. We're finally going back to movies that actually exist. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Psycho Killer Norman Bates. I think everyone loves Psycho, but it's no one's favorite Hitchcock. Like there are a lot of people who love Hitchcock and Psycho, but Psycho was never their favorite. I do enjoy Psycho a lot. It has aged very, very well. Like this movie has aged like perfectly. Like I don't think there's a single thing in this movie that hasn't aged well. Great performances by Anthony Perkins, Vera Mills, and who played Marion Crane? Uh, Janet Leigh. Janet Leigh? Leigh? Lee? I don't know how to say her name, but she's good. I would love to do it for your consideration on Psycho 2 and 4, especially Psycho 4. I love Psycho 4. But for now, Psycho 1 pretty much started the slasher genre as we know it. That's what I would say. Still relatively suspenseful. Like I said, this holds up. This holds up a lot. One of my first Blu-rays, actually. This is like one of my first Blu-rays I ever got. So, yeah. Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho. Do not watch the 1990 remake that Gus Van Sant did with, what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Fuck, what's his name? What's his name? Who is in the Psycho remake? Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn. Do not watch the Vince Vaughn remake of Psycho. Just watch the original Psycho. Psycho, good movie, great movie, aged perfectly. Speaking of movies that aged perfectly, we have John Carpenter's The Thing. I think this Blu-ray is cracked. Yeah, it's like kind of cracked, I think. But John Carpenter's The Thing, like probably my second favorite horror movie. The Shining is probably my favorite. Great creature effects, great acting, great directing, great music. Everything about this movie just works. Everything about this movie just works perfectly. And I hate how some Blu-rays have like this eyesore on the bottom. Transformers movie 1986. Yeah, when I fucking die. But John Carpenter's The Thing. It's a brilliant movie. Speaking of John Carpenter, Halloween. I bought this because I wanted the movie, and the cover looked neat. The cover is neato. Decent transit. It's still Halloween. No, this movie holds up. I used to not like this movie, but I kind of came around. I came around to like this movie. A lot of good special features. It includes the scene, the footage they had to film for the TV version of this movie because they had a TV version of this, and they had to get to up to 2 hours or something. So they had to film more footage, and this comes with that. That's great. Apparently, there's a Criterion release of Halloween on a Laserdisc, and that's where most of the special features come from. But I don't have a Laserdisc player, and I'm also not rich, so I can't afford the Criterion Laserdisc of Halloween. So this will have to do. Good movie. I can't say anything else about this because it's already been said. Everyone loves this movie, so do I. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Terry Gilliam. Terry Gilliam is a director who's very versatile. He did the two Monty Python movies, this and Life of Brian. He did Brazil. He did 12 Monkeys. What else? He's such a weird director, but he's always been good at what he does, and this is no exception. This is a funny movie. This is a very funny movie. It feels very low budget. I don't know how big the budget was for this movie, but it felt very low budget. Like there are a lot of bits where I'm like, yeah, they're just like going around in fields, just like yelling at each other, which is great. That like adds like the fun factor of this. Like if this is a fun movie. It's my favorite one. I've seen Life of Brian. It's okay. There are some things I really do like about Life of Brian, but everything about this is just better. The songs can lie down. I'm not really a big fan of musicals, but this is a very fun movie, especially when you watch it with someone who's never seen it. Monty Python. All right, water break again. Water time. How's everyone doing? I'm not doing good. I'm sitting here on the fucking floor talking about my movies. Oh, God. It's British. It's to the money popcorn, Harry Potter. Yes. Django Unchained, or as my dad calls it, the Django. The D is silent. Uh, like if Kill Bill didn't exist, then Django would be my favorite Tarantino movie. I love Django Unchained. Jamie Foxx is a badass. Christopher Waltz is a great supporting character, and Leonardo DiCaprio does a great turn as a villain. I wish Leonardo DiCaprio did more villain roles, but it's great in this one. I don't understand why people don't like Quentin Tarantino has never made a bad movie. I know some people don't like Jackie Brown. Haven't seen it yet. Can't comment. I know some people also don't like The Hateful Eight, which is another Western. So I want to see it because I love this, and this is a Western. Uh, he seems to do like two of everything. Like he did like two action oriented movies. He did kind of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was more of a drama. He did three crime movies, of like Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, and Reservoir Dogs. Hopefully, his final film will not be Star Trek, but we have this, and this is really good. A lot of blood in this. Like, there's parts where Jang will just shoot a motherfucker, and like blood will just go everywhere. Very gory movie. Like most of Tarantino's movies are gory. It's just a very fun movie. There's a lot of like fuck yeah moments in this. He only did one World War II movie. What was this World War II movie? He didn't do a World War II movie. No, he didn't do a World War II movie. What was it? Hold on. No, God damn it. He didn't do a World War II movie. I would have known that. No, he did. Fuck. He did Inglourious Bastards. Yeah, you said it like right when I was thinking it. Okay. Dummy. You can go ahead and cancel me on my own goddamn stream. I didn't know about it. I haven't seen Inglourious Bastards. That movie is very long, and that's probably one of the reasons why I don't like it. But this is like 2 hours and 5 minutes, but it moves very fast. I would have liked to see Inglourious Bastards, but for now we have Django Unchained. Everyone should watch this. Fun movie. Constantine. It's a fun movie. Very overhyped from a friend of mine, but I had fun regardless. I don't really like this cover though. This cover is kind of bad. They were obviously inspired by the Matrix at some points. This come before the Matrix. This had to have come after the Matrix. Like this is a whole scene like a hospital where Keanu's going around shooting demons, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty much the Matrix. But your stepmom hates Tarantino, so she's wrong in doing so. Yeah, she is. Everyone loves Tarantino. There's a lot of good things in this movie. A lot of good special effects at play here. The hell scene in this movie is very, very fun. And Keanu Reeves I think he's perfect as Constantine. I think Keanu Reeves is very comfortable in the role. I think he knows what he's doing. And I think he's gone on record saying it's his favorite role. Well, one of his favorite roles. And I think Keanu, just like most of the movies he's in, Keanu kind of makes this movie. But yeah, I'd watch this again. Constantine. It's pretty good. Speaking of Keanu Reeves, we have John Wick. One of my favorite action movies, probably my favorite out of the trilogy so far. Not much I can say about this. Great action, great characters. Willem Dafoe was in this. That's probably why it's my favorite. I love Willem Dafoe. I love the look of this movie. It's very blue, very kind of like pulled back. It didn't go over the top like in 3 or 2, but no, 3 and 2 didn't really go over the top that much. But I just love the look of this movie. John Wick. Now, speaking of other movies, I can't really say much on John Wick Chapter 2. Uh, this movie is a big step up from the first one. This movie is nuts. There's just like a part, like a 10-minute part in this movie where it's just fights and action. And that's probably why a lot of people like John Wick Chapter 2. I do like John Wick Chapter 2. It's probably my second favorite. I think I like 3 the least, but all these movies are very good. I love John Wick Chapter 2. Keanu Reeves is even more comfortable in the role. He's getting a little old, though, and I can't really believe him as this character anymore. But still a fun movie, John Wick Chapter 2. My steelbook for Jurassic Park. The steelbook, well, my only steelbook. Wish I bought the steelbook for Metropolis. Could have gotten more stuff. I love the steelbook. It feels so good. I know there are other steelbooks like this for like Hellboy and other things, but I love Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park. Everyone's gotta love Jurassic Park. It's a great movie. Will stand the test of time. Great acting, great moments, very quotable. You have the same steelbook. Nice. This is like one of the more common steelbooks from this line. The limited edition. I saw it at Target for like $10 when I bought it, like years ago. This is technically my first Blu-ray. I bought it because I had the DVD and I didn't have a Blu-ray player. So this is technically my first Blu-ray, technically. But great, great movie. I would like to get the other Jurassic Park movies in Blu-ray, but for now I'm fine with this one. A lot of special features included on this. You get your money's worth and more. Great movie, aged well. Watch it. Ow, I cracked everything. We're moving on to DVDs. You can't see them. They're on the bottom shelf. Go fuck yourself. The Room. Widescreen. No Blu-ray for this. I kind of feel like you kind of have to watch this movie on DVD. It kind of like makes it a little kind of hokey, and I think that's the way you should watch it. Can't really say much about this. I know Tommy is trying to do a 4K release, and oh my god, I would love to see that. I would love to live in a world where we get a 4K release. And if you open it, I can show this. I can show this. It has a picture of Tommy. Comes with a full headshot. I'll put this. I kiss this goodnight every time I go to bed. And Crazy Creatures Games is trying to load his message. Or that's just a thing. I'm not sure. DVD and the Blu-ray. I love this disc. This disc is absolutely terrible. I hate it so much. But yeah, The Room. Can you really trust anyone in a world like this? I can only trust Tommy because I can always count on him to bring me good movies. Great movie. Everyone should watch it. Air Force One, Harrison Ford. He is the president of the United States. This is a Die Hard film. A film that takes a lot from Die Hard, but it's probably the best Die Hard-esque film. Under Siege may have something to say about that. Love The Room. Thank you. Love the headshot. I love that. It also comes with an ad for his underwear. But Air Force One, Harrison Ford. Who else is in this? Gary Oldman plays the bad guy in this. He's a great bad guy. This is a very fun movie. This was one of the first like 4Ks I ever saw. I was like, really? There's a 4K release for Air Force One? I love Air Force One. This movie doesn't really let up. Like there are a couple of moments in Die Hard where it slows down, but this movie is like all action. This movie is all action. Everyone should watch Air Force One. The only Harrison Ford film that Ford doesn't hate. That's nice. So good movie. I would like to get a Blu-ray for Air Force One. Godzilla 2000, not Godzilla 2000 Millennium. I always thought it was called Godzilla 2000 Millennium. It's all right. Kickstart the Millennium series. Probably my favorite Godzilla design that isn't Shin Godzilla. but it's a good movie. Only has the dub. I bought it because it has the crap through a goose line. Uh, Decent movie. I can't really say much about this like I did with the other Godzilla movies, but it's a good movie. You guys for like $7. Godzilla 2000. I have a Clint Eastwood collection. The only Godzilla film Ford doesn't hate. This comes with the Dollars Trilogy and Hang 'em High. I did a review for Hang 'em High. It's the last review I've ever done in my old format. But I have seen the Fistful of Dollars. I saw Good, Bad, the Ugly 500 years ago. I was a wee boy. I probably should not have been watching this movie when I was that young. I tried watching for a few dollars more. I couldn't get into it. I need to finish it. Hang 'em High is actually a pretty good movie. Ted Post directed it. And Ted Post is also the director of my favorite Dirty Harry film, which we'll talk about later. But I hate this collection because all the discs fall out. This is a problem I should have brought up with the James Bond collection because all those discs fall out too. Thanks, and this thing doesn't even have anything on it. It just has side. It just has. Look at this. It's terrible. It's terrible. But yeah, it's pretty good. I would like to get at least good and bad the Ugly on Blu-ray. Good shit. Oh, I fell out again. True Lies, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, James Cameron directed. Very fun movie. Everyone should watch True Lies. It's a very fun film. The image quality is kind of poopy. I don't think there's a Blu-ray release for this yet. It's a very, very fun action romp that everyone should watch. Arnold Schwarzenegger shows that he could definitely do comedy in this. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a great comedy actor, in my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with me when I say that, but a very funny movie. A lot of really good action. James Cameron does pretty good action movies. I need to see more of James Cameron movies, but True Lies. Also, it's digitally THX mastered. Don't know if you could see that on there, but it is. Trust me. Joel Schumacher's Phantom of the Opera. I love Joel Schumacher. Joel Schumacher is one of my favorite directors of all time. Don't like this movie. I need to rewatch it. Maybe I would like it more. I don't know. I really hate the box art for this. It looks terrible. I haven't seen this movie in a long time. It has pretty decent production value, but it's one of those musicals where every single line is part of a song. And don't really like it. Based on the play, based on Andrew Lloyd Webber's play, not the book, not any of the movies, based on the play, which is why it's a musical. I have seen 1962's Phantom of the Opera. I do love that movie. I love 1962's Phantom of the Opera, but not really a big fan of this one. I proposed my wife using a song from Phantom. Oh God, that's actually kind of smooth. I like that, but it's all right. My busted up copy of Mrs. Doubtfire. I love Mrs. Doubtfire. It's one of Robin Williams' best. May he rest in peace. It's one of his best. I love this movie so much. Very feel good movie. Robin Williams is one of his most definite best roles ever. I love this movie so much. There is not much I can say about this movie. It's just good. Everyone should watch it. Die Hard. No Blu-ray for this. Hopefully we'll get a Blu-ray soon. I do enjoy Die Hard, and according to some people, it's my favorite movie of all time. Don't know where they got that from. I think this movie is pretty good, but it's not one of my favorites. I think it's in my top 10 action films, though. It's at least in my top 15. I do enjoy Die Hard. Uh, not much can be said about this. And like I said earlier, there are some things that Air Force One does better, but it's quintessential action. You got to watch Die Hard. Everyone loves Die Hard. Die Hard. The Amazing Spider-Man. God, this movie sucks. This movie's terrible. It's really funny though. The second one is funnier, but I only have this one. This movie is hilarious. Actually, for my Spider-Man thing, there is a version like that for the Amazing Spider-Man duology. I want to get that, but I can't justify getting it because I don't like the movies. But they're so goddamn funny. They're so funny. This movie is not as funny. The second one is funnier, is more funny. Uh, Andrew Garfield is not a good Spider-Man. Uh, Everyone is just bad in this movie. There's not a good actor in this movie. It's just not good. The Amazing Spider-Man. It's just bad. The Lost World, Jurassic Park. No Blu-ray for this. Hopefully, I'll get a Blu-ray for this soon. I really do enjoy this movie. I do. I love this movie. Second favorite Jurassic Park movie. Not really a lot of room for competition there. I really do love this movie. I'm always surprised that Steven Spielberg came back for this one, which is very interesting. Wait, did he direct this? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. But it's just more of what we love from the first one. Just, it's just more. It's just more Jurassic Park. And what's not to love? I'm pretty sure he directed it. Lost. I need to see if he directed. It says a Steven Spielberg film. Yeah, he did. Okay, I'm just like really retarded. Jeff Goldblum looks weird in this. He looks totally different than he did in the first movie, which always threw me off as a kid. It still does. But The Lost World, Jurassic Park. It's a good movie. Speaking of good movies, we're back to movies I absolutely adore. Gremlins. I love Gremlins. I love Gremlins. I love Gremlins. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. I like it better than the second one. Great creature effects. I think they're actually thinking of doing a third one. Either it's going to be a third one or they're doing a remake or a reboot. And God no, please leave Gremlins alone. Probably. This is Steven Spielberg. I thought Joe Dante directed this. I think Joe Dante wrote it. Yeah, no. It is directed by Joe Dante. Steven Spielberg presents. You should probably put Steven Spielberg on the front instead of Joe Dante because no one knows who Joe Dante is. I love Joe Dante. Probably his best movie. Written by Chris Columbus, one of the greatest writers of all time, in my opinion. I love Gremlins so much. Funny movie. Don't have a Blu-ray for it. Can't wait to get the Blu-ray. Gremlins 2, the new batch. Not as good as the first one, but I still like it. Haven't seen this in ages, so I can't really comment much on it. I love Gremlins 2, though. It's a pretty good movie. I think Christopher Lee's in this. I think Christopher Lee's actually in this. Yeah, Christopher Lee's in this. Yeah. Gremlins 2. Ugh. Shaun of the Dead. Not my favorite in the Cornetto trilogy. I have only seen Hot Fuzz in this. Hot Fuzz is so much better than this. This movie has a lot of tone problems. Like it tries to be a funny movie, like a funny zombie movie and a serious zombie movie. Those tones clash very hard, especially towards the end. I the ending part of the movie, like what I'm talking about, like the ending drama with like the mother. I did not like it. This movie has a lot of tone problems. Other than that, it's a great movie. Other than that, I love this movie. I just don't think the tones clash well together. I think there's a lot of tone problems with this movie. And I'm upset that no one agrees with me because I really think that's what holds this movie back. But it's still a very funny movie. It's still very funny. I just prefer Hot Fuzz, which I don't own. I own this, and I'm fine with owning this. Can't wait to get a Blu-ray, and I want to get Hot Fuzz. I love Hot Fuzz. Now, I don't know why I own this, but I own a copy of the Simpsons movie. I think I got this for a joke to myself. This is from the era of The Simpsons, where The Simpsons was starting to become bad. But there are still things in this movie that I do enjoy. Like I think President Schwarzenegger was a pretty decent joke. I have to watch this movie again. I haven't seen this movie in ages, but it's okay. Simpsons movie, Simpsons movie, Simpsons movie. If you say it 3 times in the mirror, Homer Simpson will get you. The Dawn of the Dead and Land of the Dead double pack. I bought this thinking that this had the original Dawn of the Dead. This was before I knew all the legal problems with the original Dawn of the Dead. So I accidentally bought the remake of Dawn of the Dead, which is fine. I think the remake of Dawn of the Dead is all right. It's nowhere near as good as the original Dawn of the Dead. But hey, it's responsible for kickstarting the next big zombie boom, Zack Snyder's first movie and probably his best movie. I know some people are fans of the 300, but probably his most competent movie. I have not seen Land of the Dead. The only reason why Land of the Dead exists is because Dawn of the Dead remake exists. Because zombies were in. They were finally back in. But yeah, remake of Dawn of the Dead, it's okay. I definitely watch it again. There are a lot of things I really don't like about it. Like, I hate pretty much all the characters, especially Ty Burrell. Gore, pretty good. It's the unrated version, more like headshots, more explosions. But there are just there's a lot of things I just don't like about this. Like the zombie baby was a little too much. Like you could have cut that out of the movie and I would be fine. But yeah, remake of Dawn of the Dead, it's okay. I cannot comment on Land of the Dead. I've owned this for like at least 4 years, at least, and I haven't seen Land of the Dead yet. The Shining, my favorite horror movie of all time. This movie's a masterpiece. Everyone should watch it. No Blu-ray for it yet. Jack Nicholson's amazing. Shelley Duvall is great. Probably one of Kubrick's best. I am quite partial to Dr. Strangelove. Haven't seen Barry Lyndon, but I have seen The Shining, and The Shining is a great movie. I love this movie. I can't wait to get a Blu-ray for it. I might have to get a 4K because I think the only Blu-rays that exist are like a double feature with A Clockwork Orange, which I'm fine with. I do love A Clockwork Orange, but I want this. This movie's great. My favorite horror movie. Stand By Me by Rob Reiner. Yeah, Rob Reiner, the same guy who did The Princess Bride. Rob Reiner comes back at us with it's actually another Stephen King movie based on The Body. This is a good movie, a very good feel good movie. A lot of good child actors. I appreciate a movie with good child actors because that means I'm not like banging my head against a wall saying you can't act. These children can actually act. Yeah. Good movie, very good song. I think the song may outpass the movie. But yeah, River Phoenix is in this movie. You know, before he died, best known for being young Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade movie. He wasn't in the TV show Young Indiana Jones. He just played young Indiana Jones. Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, Kiefer Sutherland's in this along with Corey Feldman. before he became an absolute wreck. He's doing pretty well for himself now, I hear. So good on him. But no Blu-ray for this. Can't wait to get a Blu-ray. I love Stand By Me. Speaking of movies I wish I had a Blu-ray for. North by Northwest, my favorite Hitchcock. I love this movie so much. It is definitely my favorite Alfred Hitchcock. From Russia with Love ripped off this movie with like the whole plane scene, but very good. A lot of good set pieces, a lot of good suspense. Cary Grant is a great actor. He's one of the best, and this is probably one of his best movies. And this is definitely Alfred Hitchcock's best movie, in my opinion. I don't have to see the fucking birds to know that. I have seen the birds though. It's a pretty good movie, but I do enjoy North by Northwest, my favorite Hitchcock. Can't wait to get a Blu-ray for it. It's a very good movie. Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. Bill Murray. Who directed this? Harold Ramis. I love this movie. I think everyone enjoys Groundhog Day. This is a great movie. Everyone should watch this. No Blu-ray, sadly. I remember they brought back Bill Murray for a commercial that was based around Groundhog Day. I can't remember what the commercial was for, but they brought him back for that. I'm like, wow, that's quite impressive. It's kind of hard to get Bill Murray to do anything, but Groundhog Day, great movie. Night at the Museum. I haven't seen this movie since I was a wee boy, so I can't comment. I remember it being pretty decent. Ben Stiller. I hardly knew her. Can't comment. Haven't seen this in ages. One thing I can comment on, I'll comment on later, is I have to get a drink of water for water break. God, I'm glad I have this. Ugh. One movie I can comment on is The Gooblies, The Goonies. I love this movie so much. Before Whisper of the Heart, this was my favorite film of all time. This movie just shows how just child wonder. Like there's just so much child wonder in this movie that makes me feel so happy. And this movie is just so much fun to watch. I love this movie. No Blu-ray for it yet. I need to get a Blu-ray of this. I think there's a 4K release of this, which is interesting. But I absolutely adore this. Richard Donner directs. And Richard Donner is a very underrated director, in my opinion. He's made some great movies. I love The Goonies so much. Every single actor, it isn't the best acting, but in terms of child acting, it's great. It's great. The sets are amazing. The big pirate ship at the end is amazing. The villains are hilarious. Robert Davi and Anne Ramsey and I don't know who else it was, but great. The directors, the commentary for this, it has the cast, like all the kids come back, and so does Richard Donner, and that's just a blast to watch. Very funny commentary track. I would definitely watch this and watch it again with the commentary track. The Gooblies. Kindergarten Cop, one of Schwarzenegger's best, in my opinion. Very funny movie. This is also another one where the transfer is like really dog shit. I would like to get a Blu-ray for this. I don't know. I really do. I really do love Kindergarten Cop. It's a great movie. Very funny. It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all. Very quotable. It's just a good movie. Like it's hard not to have a fun time watching Kindergarten Cop. Who directed this? Ivan Reitman. Kindergarten Cop. Good movie. Everyone should watch this. Silver Bullet, Stephen King. One of my favorite Stephen King movies. I don't like his books. I think he's a hack author, but I really do enjoy the movies. This is no exception. This has Gary Busey in it. I love Gary Busey. He's a horrible actor, but he's very funny. Uh, Corey Haim was in this. Yeah, Corey Haim. People get him and Corey Feldman confused, but they're pretty good. Pretty decent werewolf movie. A lot of hokiness in this, but I think that just adds to the fun. Very fun movie. I would recommend this. It's not the best horror movie out there, but it's a very fun movie. Oh, it's my eye. Another Stephen King one, Pet Cemetery. It's all right. I don't like this one that much. I know the remake came out in 2019, I think, but I haven't seen that. I don't want to. This movie's all right. It's got some pretty standout moments, but other than that, it's all right. Pet Cemetery. Clue. I love Clue. Clue is so funny. The whole mystery thing is kind of bad. The movie's at its best when it's just firing jokes at you left and right. Very good cast. Tim Curry, one of Tim Curry's best movies in my opinion. I love Tim Curry in this. Yeah. So this movie has 3 different endings, which was very cool for its time. When did this come out? Ow, my eye. 1985. So a very cool thing. You would go into a movie theater and they would play different endings depending on which movie theater you went to. And this has all 3 of them, which is very interesting. The endings are very funny. I like all the endings. Good cast, good movie. We're probably never going to see a board game movie ever again. Well, Jumanji doesn't exist. That's like a board game in its own thing. Clue. A lot of people think Jumanji is a real board game. It's not. Unless it is. I don't think it is. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This is a good movie. Matthew Broderick. John Hughes. John Hughes, great director, great writer. I know they have The Breakfast Club on Criterion. I need to get that. But this is a great movie. I love this. John Hughes is really good with like feel-good movies. And this is no different. I love this movie. Haven't seen this in a long time. This movie is rated PG-13, but they use the fuck word. It's a good movie. Airplane, Don't Call Me Shirley edition. Airplane is one of my favorite comedies of all time. I love this movie. Not as good as The Naked Gun. I think I would watch The Naked Gun over this. But this movie is hilarious. Haven't seen the second one, don't want to. No Blu-ray, just the DVD. I would love to get the Blu-ray for this. I love comedy. I love comedies in this style. Like these kind of comedies are my favorite. Airplane, Don't Call Me Shirley. That's my favorite joke of all time. That Jason Michael Thomas. Wayne's World, Party Time, Excellence. Great movie. I think I saw a bit of the second one, but this is still a fantastic movie. Very funny. It's just a movie where like the 2 leads are just very warm and you can just resonate with them, and it's just good. I love this movie. I would love to get a Blu-ray for this. Rob Lowe is in this. I always forget Rob Lowe is in this. But he's good. He's good. Everyone's good. And Dana Carvey, Mike Myers, it's all great. It's 80s as fuck, but it's still a good movie. I think my computer is going to die, so I need to grab my charger. Okay. It's charging now. Next. Tommy Boy, Holy Schnikey Edition. May Chris Farley rest in peace. I love Chris Farley. He was a great, funny man. This is most definitely his best movie. I would like to have a Blu-ray for Tommy Boy. A lot of great things in this. God, it's so good. Rob Lowe is also in this movie as the villain. Very funny. A lot of physical, like Chris Farley did a lot of good physical comedy. This is a great showcase for him. But yeah, Tommy Boy, Holy Schnikey Edition, great movie. Paramount did a lot of special releases of their movies where it's like the tagline is like the edition. Yeah. John Wick Chapter 3. No Blu-ray. I know, surprising. I would like to get the Blu-ray for Part 3. I do like this movie. It's all right. A lot more balls to the wall action in this, but still a good movie regardless. I can't wait to see what they do for the fourth one. But like again with the first two, not much I can say about this. Go watch it. It's great. He's getting more and more old, Keanu Reeves. He's still on top of his game, but it's getting more and more hard to believe he can do the stuff he does in his movies. But he's still pulling through, and he's still making movies like this, and that's kind of what we're all here for. John Wick Chapter 3. Probably my least favorite in the trilogy. All right, now we're back to animated movies. Pinocchio. I haven't seen it, can't comment. The Platinum Edition. What's so special about the Platinum Edition? Disc 1. Oh, there's a whole disc for bonus material. I wonder if when Disney did like special releases of their movies, they add things to it, which is one of the things fell off. No. So will this thing always be open now? No? Okay. Haven't seen Pinocchio, can't comment. I would like to get into the older era of Disney, so that's why I have Pinocchio. Ugh. Sleeping Beauty, haven't seen it, can't comment. Like I said, I would like to get into the older era of Disney. Only 75 minutes. Wow. For some reason, this is like Jason Michael Thompson's favorite Disney movie. And I find that hard to believe. Like, yeah, no way. You didn't watch a movie that came out in like the 60s. When did this come out? This came out in this DVD came out in 2008. When did this come out? I'm trying to see. I don't know. But there's no way Jason has seen this movie. Looks good. Can't wait to see it. I'll pop this in one of these days so I can experience it. Bambi. Haven't seen it. Can't comment. Same reason. I want to get into the older era. But for some reason, this includes a Blu-ray of Bambi. As like, it's like, yeah, like, I don't know why it's not just in a regular Blu-ray case. Maybe this was like before Blu-rays were like mainstream. The Diamond Edition. Do these add anything? Experience never forget. First time. I don't think they added anything in this. I know for my copy of Beauty and the Beast they did, and for version of The Lion King. But for now we have Bambi. I would like to see this. It looks pretty good. Beauty and the Beast, probably my favorite Disney movie. I love this movie so much. It's a beautiful, beautiful. Oh shoot! It's all falling out. It's all falling out. A lot of scratches on this disc. Somehow it still works. But I want to switch out the disc. I love Beauty and the Beast. It's a great movie. Everyone should watch it. For some reason, in this release of Beauty and the Beast, they added a song. What's it called? They added a song chanting Celine Dion and Pablo Bryanson. All new exciting games, much, much more. What did they added a new song? Yeah, they added a whole new song, Human Again. And it is very obvious when they cut to the new song because the quality looks so much worse. I think you had to go into like the special features to turn it off. Or so it's so stupid. Like, let me watch the movie on its own. Like, don't add some new crap to it. It's terrible. But other than that, Beauty and the Beast is a great movie. Everyone should watch Beauty and the Beast. It's a good ass movie. Wreck-It Ralph. Pretty good. Pretty good. I really do enjoy Wreck-It Ralph. I remember when the sequel came out, Ralph Breaks the Internet. It was nominated for Best Animated Picture, but they went ahead and printed like winner of Best Animated Picture, even though it didn't win yet. So that's really funny. Still, Wreck-It Ralph. It's a pretty good movie. I enjoy this movie. I would not mind a Blu-ray of this. Now we're finally back with fucking Finding Nemo. Don't I own a Blu-ray for Dory. Don't own a Blu-ray for Nemo. It's all right. I like this more than the second one. It's 100 minutes long. It's 100 minutes long. It's all right. Not one of Pixar's best. I think it's all right, but it's good nonetheless. Ah, shoot. The Dirty Harry collection comes with Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, Sudden Impact, and The Deadpool. I love Dirty Harry and Magnum Force. I kind of like The Enforcer. I really don't like Sudden Impact, and I really think that Deadpool is hilarious. The Deadpool has not only Clint Eastwood, it has Jim Carrey, Liam Neeson, and Mario. Charles Martinet is in this. I love Dirty Harry so much, but I hate the way they package it because they stack all the discs on top of each other. So if I want to get to the Deadpool, I have to go all the way down, and it's just terrible. Like, why would you do this? I think there's a Blu-ray release of this specific packaging, but I only want a Blu-ray of the first two. Dirty Harry and Magnum Force are the peak of the series. I know they tried doing a Dirty Harry movie a while ago, but it just didn't work because Clint Eastwood's too old. But I like the first two. They're good time capsules on. Just farted. Dirty Harry collection. So that's all my movies. I said we do video games, and I think we might as well do video games because they're right here. So I guess why not? I guess we'll just do video games now. So we'll start with PS4, I guess. I don't own that many video games, but Alien Isolation Stromo Edition, a great horror game. A very, very fun horror game. Probably one of the best ever made, in my opinion. I love this game so much. I've only seen one Alien film, but I love the hell out of Alien Isolation. Very scary. Alien AI, spooky. Even though I kind of already know how it works, so I kind of goof it sometimes. But it's a very good experience. I love this game. My games are actually alphabetized. My movies aren't. My movies are not alphabetized. I don't know why. I just group them how I like. Battlefield Hardline. Probably the best Battlefield game, the best modern Battlefield game. I really do enjoy Hardline. I do enjoy if I've been playing a lot of 5, but I really do enjoy Battlefield Hardline. I wish the story was a bit better. I wish it was structured a bit better. But it is, just regardless, it's so much fun. I love Battlefield Hardline. This is no longer a movie stream. Now we're talking about video games. Because why not? We have them here. And sometimes people ask me what video games I have. Call of Duty World War II. It's all right. I think the campaign is very funny. The multiplayer is very fun. Most Call of Duty games are fun. I'd rather play this than Cold War. You heard it here, folks. The campaign may be doo-doo, but the multiplayer is pretty fun-o. Call of Duty World War II. Man, this was their big return back to like World War II, and they really flopped hard on this. Dead Rising. This game pretty much built my channel. This is a great zombie game. Isn't my favorite Dead Rising? I love Dead Rising 2 more, but this is a great zombie game. So much fun. Very fun to stream. Very, very fun. It has PS4 remote play for the Vita? I don't know. I really love when Capcom re-releases their shit because there's no accolades. This is just like the Xbox 360 box on PS4. There's no like, best game of 2000 whatever, 5-star review. It's just the box. Very non-intrusive. One of my first PS4 games. This and Battlefield Hardline and Fallout 4 were my first PS4 games. But Dead Rising was probably my favorite one. I got a lot of mileage out of this. I still play it to this day. Very fun. I am working on the platinum for it. Dead Rising 2. Dead Rising 2. Probably my favorite zombie game. Left 4 Dead 2. May I have something to say about that? But I really enjoy Dead Rising 2. Mostly because the multiplayer just makes it so much fun. Playing this with a friend is the best way to play it. It is so goddamn fun. It's so fun to play with a friend. The story takes a bit of a hit, but we're not here to we're here to throw pies at zombies. All right? Great game. Everyone should play. Everybody should play Dead Rising 2. Dying Light. Look at that. Techland makes a strike. People are hyped for Dying Light 2. I haven't finished this, but I have a lot of fun. I used to hate this game, but I went back to it, and I was like, this game's actually pretty fun. So, also a very fun game to play with friends. But it's also a pretty decent single-player experience. Parkour is fun. Zombies are fun. It's just a very fun. I'm glad I came back to revisit Dying Light. I'm a little hyped for the second one. I'm holding my breath though. I do like this one though. Far Cry 4, the Walmart edition. I got this for like $2 at a GameStop. Owned by a guy called Justin Pearson. You can see that. Free limited edition upgrade. The Walmart edition. Okay, buddy. Very, very fun game. Also a great game to play with friends. I know people don't like the villain in this that much, but I think Pagan Man is a great villain. Probably my favorite Far Cry game. I've only played 3 and 4. I haven't played 5 that much. 5 looks like fun. 5 looks like it's bonkers in terms of like the world and how crazy you can get. But Far Cry 4 is just more of 3. And while the story also takes a hit, I have a lot of fun with this. I can't remember. I don't know if Far Cry 3 was multiplayer or not. But I love the multiplayer in Far Cry 4. It is so much fun, and it's the best way to play the game. Fallout 4. It's okay. I don't really like it that much. I've mellowed out. I used to like the game, but Far Cry 4 is just kind of tanked for me. I don't know. It's all right. It's just all right. Like there's so many things they got rid of that makes no sense. Like the in-depth character creation, the like interesting choices, the world. It is very fun to explore Fallout 4, but it's neutered. They neutered the hell out of this game. Like playing this in New Vegas and 3 back to back. Like 3 had more shit than this. 3 had more things than this. Like what's going on? This is stupid. It's all right. Like it's my least favorite Fallout. I'd rather play 3 than this. If that says something. I don't like this one. And the broken limb is broken. I don't know what that means. Killing Floor 2. Not that fun single player, good game to stream, very fun multiplayer. And the limbs get mended in Fallout 4. I don't know what that means. I played a bit of Killing Floor 1. That game is bonkers as hell. This game is more bonkers. Very fun to play with friends. I recommend this. I do think that games like Left 4 Dead are more fun. I don't really like horde shooters that much because you're just standing still doing one thing. With games like Left 4 Dead and like World War Z, you're moving through a level. There's more like wacky things that happen. They get oh, you break your limbs. Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, see, they kept removing pointless things from Fallout 3 New Vegas. But Killing Floor 2, fun game. Can't wait for the third one. For some godforsaken reason, I own a physical copy of Friday the 13th. This is one of my favorite multiplayer games ever made, and it isn't even that good. Rest in peace, Friday the 13th. I own this because I wanted to support Gun Media and Ilphonic because I followed this game from its teaser to its release, and I got this like a year after it came out. But it's a very funny game. This game is funny as all hell, especially when you're playing with friends. This game is hilarious. But it's also a pretty decent Friday 13th. It's probably the best Friday 13th game we're ever going to get. And hopefully we'll get more updates for it. But I'm not having any hope. But I'm just glad I own a physical copy of Friday the 13th, the game. LA Noire. Remember, someone's do not director's cut of the Friday the 13th with Uber Jason. I don't know what you're saying. LA Noire, out of all the one-off Rockstar does, like Manhunt, The Warriors, and this, I enjoy this a lot. I love the 1940s aesthetic. Pretty engaging story. Very impressive technology for the time. This is a very fun game to play with friends. You take turns doing the cases. This was also the background of my old reviews that I used to do. I would go to the LA Noire main menu screen and just talk about movies. So I kind of owe it to that, but this game is very jank, especially the driving, especially the shooting. It just works better when you're just taking it slow, which Rockstar doesn't really want to do. But I think they published it. I don't think Rockstar made this. Like another company had a heavy hand in it. But what was it? I can't remember. But great game. Everyone should play LA Noire. Spell checks. Someone is doing director's cut Friday the 13th, the game of Uber Jason, a director's cut. Are they coming back to do it? Did they get the rights for it this time, or is it fan made? But anyway, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom V. I love Metal Gear Solid is my favorite game franchise of all time. I love all the games, even two, even this one. I haven't finished this game in a long time. Like I think I finished the game with someone else. It wasn't this copy. I finished a different copy of this game. It's probably the game that I play the most because it has very open end gameplay, which is just the pinnacle of what Kojima wanted to do gameplay wise. But they got rid of like Kojima Productions. All it says is fucking Konami. They neutered the hell out of this game too. That's why at the beginning of every mission, Kojima's name is plastered everywhere because he knew they were gonna fucking take it off the box. So fuck Konami. Good game though. Very fun game to stream. I love this game so much. Not my favorite Metal Gear Solid. I think I prefer most of them to this, but it's still a very fun game to play. And it should be the final game. No more Metal Gear games. No more. I don't want any more Metal Gear games. Red Dead Redemption 2. This is a very good game. There are some things that I have some second thoughts on, like the mission design is very restricting. The open world isn't that much restricting, but it's in very high contrast with the open world, with like the main story. But with that being said, the story is very good. This game definitely makes the argument of how games can be on level with movies, and it works. I think it works. A lot of great actors in this. Roger Clark fucking kills it as Arthur Morgan, as Arthur. I didn't do nothing, Arthur. But great video game. Comes on too. This game was massive. This game was absolutely massive, and it comes with a map of the game that I'm not going to unfold because I'll never be able to fold it back. So Red Dead Redemption 2, I have not played the first Red Dead Redemption. I'm glad I played this though because this is a prequel. I lucked out there. My European copy of Resident Evil 7, probably my second favorite Resident Evil game. This game is very short. It's very to the point. It's very fun. A lot of meme potential in this. Pretty much saved Resident Evil for a little bit, even though they went right back to action for Resident Evil 8. I can still enjoy the hell out of Resident Evil 7. Very, very fun. I wish I had an American copy, but I don't care if it's like European. Very, very fun. We needed a mainline first person Resident Evil game. I know like some of the Gun Survivor games are first person. I need a drink of water. I know some of them are first person, but this is like a mainline one. And we needed a mainline first person Resident Evil game. Great game. Second favorite. My favorite's 4. You know, it's obvious. Everyone. If you don't like 4, then you're retarded. But 7 is a great fucking game. I can't wait to play 8, even though I heard it's pretty. I hear 8's pretty good. I just haven't played it yet. Resident Evil 7. Spider-Man. This is the best Spider-Man game. This is undoubtedly the best Spider-Man game. People who say that Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man game, they're living in the past. This one is the best. Has the best physics, has the best story, has the best combat, has the best everything. It takes everything Spider-Man 2 did and did it better. It did it better. One of the best games on the PS4, one of the best exclusives. Everyone was like flipping out over Spider-Man Miles Morales, saying, "Oh, this isn't Spider-Man 2." Well, it isn't. It's meant to hold us over. It's going to show us what we can expect from Spider-Man 2. But Spider-Man is really good. I enjoy this game. I enjoy this game. I platinumed it. I know a lot of people are jealous. Looking at you, Jason, but I love Spider-Man. Oh, jeez. Thanks for Uncharted 4. My second least favorite Uncharted game. Great graphics, great visuals. The shooting feels very refined. The story can suck my ass. The story is very bad. The story was okay. It was okay, but I'm not a big fan of this one. I'm really not. But either way, it's still pretty fun. Like the action set pieces and the level design are really fun. The jungle gym approach they went with Uncharted 4 was very good. I liked it a lot. Too bad the story was terrible. Speaking of story, we have the Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls bundle, only sold in Europe. You can only find this in Europe, but it's kind of redundant now because we have the collection which comes with these two and Detroit Become Human. So this is kind of worthless now. I used to think that Beyond Two Souls was great. This game is dog shit in terms of story. So is Heavy Rain, but Heavy Rain has meme like potential. Well, it's not potential. It's already been memed. But Heavy Rain is so goddamn fun. Both of these games are hilarious. Played with friends. If you're playing these games alone, then you're playing the game wrong, objectively speaking. Heavy Rain is my favorite game that Quantum Dreams has ever made. Not really a high bar to cross. Even then, Heavy Rain is a pretty bad game. But it's just really funny. Both of them are really funny. The collection. This. All right, final PS4 game. Until Dawn. Every time I try to play Until Dawn, I can't finish it because this game blows. I need to get like Tyler or like someone to play this with me because this game is funny as hell with friends, which is why I stream it. I stream it because it's funny. This game can suck a fart out of my ass though. This game is terrible. I saw a bit of Man of Medan when that came out, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. It's dog shit. The Man of Medan makes this look like a masterpiece, which is hilarious because this game is terrible. Until Dawn. It's got Mr. Robot in it. Okay. We're moving on to PS2. 13. Not the remake 13, but the original 13 with, what's his name? I can't remember his name. David Duchovny. David Duchovny's in this. He plays the man in the box. Very, very fun first-person shooter with a really good comic book aesthetic. Like when you shoot someone, it shows like 3 panels of like the bullet going into them and like, their head like blowing up or whatever. Very good comic book aesthetic. Do not play this. Don't play the remake. This is a very fun game. This will stand the test of time. It isn't the best first-person shooter, but it has its own style, which is what first-person shooters are lacking. Because a lot of first-person shooters don't have a lot of identity. This game is full of identity. Everyone should play 13. .007, Agent Under Fire. Of course I have a James Bond game. I love James Bond video games. They're some of my favorite video games. This is a great James Bond video game. It makes you feel like Bond. You get the gadgets, the cars, the girls. But it's very short. That's okay. I like short games. I'd recommend playing this. The shooting is a little wonky, but it's hard not to have a fun time playing Agent Under Fire. 007 Nightfire. Everyone says this is the best James Bond video game. I disagree. I really enjoy Everything or Nothing, which is a third-person shooter, which I don't own, but I really do enjoy Nightfire. They have Pierce Brosnan on the front, but the guy who voices Bond is not Pierce Brosnan. They got Brosnan for Everything or Nothing, along with John Cleese and Judi Dench. But this is a very fun James Bond romp. Better than Agent Under Fire. Even though I said I loved Agent Under Fire, this game is just so much better. Everyone should play Nightfire. Avoid the PC version. PC version's dog shit. Probably my second favorite Bond game, From Russia with Love. Yes, this got a game. Out of all the Connery films, this got an action-packed game, From Russia with Love. I love this, but I love it because of that. It's so weird. They actually got Sean Connery to come back to voice Bond for this. Not only did they get his likeness, they somehow convinced him to come back to voice him, to voice James Bond. This is like a. I think this came before Everything or Nothing. No, this came after Everything or Nothing. But there are a lot of improvements in this one, with like the Bond sense and whatever. The shooting feels more refined. The animations look a lot better, and it's just a very fun game. I'd recommend this. This is also a shorter game. Most of the James Bond games are pretty short. You can beat them in like 3 hours. But From Russia with Love 007 or 007 From Russia with Love is a great time. Everyone should play this. Kingdom Hearts 2, haven't played it, can't comment. I would like to get into Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts looks really fun. I'm not really into RPGs. These are like action RPGs, but I cannot comment much. I think Mickey swears in this. It's like Mickey or Donald swears in this. Hearing Donald Duck say Sephiroth is one of the funniest things in the world. But I have not played. I played like 15 minutes of it, and I really enjoyed it. But I haven't really played much of it. I need to. Maybe I should play the first one. I'm not sure, but I'll give Kingdom Hearts a try one of these days. Lupin the Third, Treasure of the Sorcerer's King. Yeah, Treasure of the Sorcerer's King. The best Lupin the Third game. Not that many Lupin the Third games, but out of the handful of them there are. This one's the best. This game is janky as all hell. There are a lot of good things about it. They bring back the entire Part 2 cast to dub it, which is very admirable. The music is great. It's also a very fun conversation piece. Like, what's this? It's the Lupin the Third PS2 game? Whoa! And that's where most of it comes from. Very fun, very janky. I would suggest if you're gonna play this, get like a walkthrough, have it by your side. But it's a fun time. Collector's piece. I'm glad I have a really good version of this. This cost me like $15. I'm so glad I found it for $15. Max Payne. Pain to the max. Pain in the butt. Pain in the butt. This game has aged not so well, in my opinion. The controls are so bad. The controls are terrible in this. The story and presentation, great. Gunplay is great. Slow motion, great. But those controls, man. Oof, play this on PC. Play this on PC. It works so much better on PC. Same that goes with like the whole Max Payne trilogy. Like just play Max Payne on PC. Don't play it on PS2. Speaking of Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. Payner to the max. This and Max Payne 3 like fluctuate between my favorite Max Payne game. I really enjoy this game. I love the story. I love the looks. The gunplay is better. The controls are more refined. But I think 3 has the best controls. Max Payne feels like a goddamn superhero in this. He's like an X-Men now. But still a very good game. I recommend this over the first one. This is a very fun game. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. I understand why people hate this game, but I beat this a few days ago. This game is amazing. I love that. I love Metal Gear Solid 2. People say, "Oh, it's just like a worse remake of Metal Gear Solid." Yeah, well, there's actually a point to that. Maybe if you got your head out of your ass and look through the story, you can finally figure out why. But speaking of, the story is very hit or miss for some people. I enjoyed it. People complain that Snake wasn't the main character. Well, Kojima, he was like, I don't. Kojima didn't want Snake to be the main character of two. Like, he wanted to do something else. That's why Raiden is here. I know there was a whole scandal where like they were hyping up Snake being in this one, and then they're like, "Who's this Raiden? Fuck, who's he?" But so it's fine. I love this game. This game's great. I love the look of like the sleek technology look. It looks great. It looks really good. I love the look of Metal Gear Solid 2. Love the gameplay. Love the music. I love everything. Something maybe the romance with like Rose with Rosemary can like go lie down a bit, but I still really enjoy Metal Gear Solid 2. I play Metal Gear Solid 2 more than I play Snake Eater. Everyone loves Snake Eater. Everyone loves Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I kind of don't. Don't get me wrong. The presentation and story of Metal Gear Solid 3 is great. It's a lot more toned back than it was in Metal Gear Solid 2 and 1 and Metal Gear 2 for that matter. But that gameplay, man, fuck, it takes a big heart. It tries so hard to be realistic, but it just comes across as like really annoying. Like there's a mechanic in the game where you can hunt for food and get your stamina back up. All right, that's fine. That's cool. You're gonna be in the jungle. You're gonna hunt. But the thing is, if you leave your console, the food will rot. Like if you turn off the game, like the clock that's in the PS2 will affect the meat and it'll go rotten. And there's some points in the game where you can't hunt. There'll be in places in the game where you can't get any food or you won't have the resources to hunt the food. So, yeah, if you're going to play this game, I suggest binging it. And also, the top-down perspective does not work for Metal Gear Solid 3. If you're gonna play this, binge it, play the substance version or the version that's available on the HD collection. The vanilla version is kind of tart, but it's still a fun enough time. I like it. I just wish I liked it more. No One Lives Forever. The PS2 version. Oh god, this sucks. If you're gonna play No One Lives Forever is a great game, but the PS2 version really sucks. Just get the PC version. It isn't that hard to find. I don't think it is. The PS2 version sucks. I wasted money on it. Red Faction, a game that a lot of people remembered being impressive, but now it's just okay. This game is okay. Decent enough shooter, very fun controls, fun vehicles, but it's just okay. It's okay. I can't say anything about it. It's okay. Resident Evil Outbreak. Now this is a fun game to own. I don't hate this game. I don't play it that much, but it's a very fun game to own just to look at and go, yeah, that's right. I own Outbreak. This is File 1. There was a sequel to this that had more maps. I think with a little bit of tinkering on a PS2 emulator, you can get the multiplayer working on this. On the back, it has the accolades: best PS2 game, best adventure game. What did it tuck you in last night? Did it give you a kiss goodnight? But this game's funny. I like this. It's pretty much just bite-sized Resident Evil, and I like it for that. Resident Evil Outbreak. Shadow the Hedgehog. God, I hate this game. This is like my arch enemy when it comes to video games. I don't like this game. Terrible controls, terrible voice acting. terrible gunplay, terrible story, terrible levels. There are very few things I like. There's like nothing I like about this game. I don't like this game at all. This game sucks. I have played this a lot though, like with friends. Like friends would come over, and I would play Shadow the Hedgehog. It's just bad. Like, I don't know why people like this game. It's bad. I've had this game for far too long though. I hate this game. Splinter Cell, the PS2 version. Don't buy the PS2 versions. They're gimped. A lot of load times. Just get the Xbox version or the PC versions. But Splinter Cell is a pretty decent series. Not my favorite. I prefer Metal Gear Solid. But this is like more tactical, more slow, I guess. Not that many bombastic things, but don't buy the PS2 version of Splinter Cell. Okay, same thing goes for Chaos Theory. Chaos Theory is probably the best Splinter Cell game. I'd agree. I do like Double Agent though, but yeah, don't buy this. Don't buy the PS2 version. Just get them on Steam for like $10. It's a good game. Just don't buy them on PS2. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie game, kind of a 2.0 version of Battle for Bikini Bottom, which makes it a good game. Battle for Bikini Bottom is not the best game in the world, but hey, it's a pretty fun game, and so is this. I almost dropped it. Very fun licensed game. I'd play again. This game is fun. My license hurt. The Simpsons Hit and Run, probably the best Simpson game. Play Simpsons. The game's very hard kids game. I don't even know if I can call this a kids game, but full of character, full of great vehicle physics, and just all around a fun time. It's like Driver, if you ever heard of Driver, those series. Tekken 5. It's a good fighting game. I don't like Tekken that much. I prefer Soul Calibur. Sorry. Time Splitters. I love Time Splitters, but I only own the first game. The first game is objectively the worst, but it's still a pretty good game. But Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect are better. My favorite is Future Perfect, but Time Splitters 1 is still a very fun game. It's still really fun. It's good arcade shooting, very hard. This is a very hard game, but it's just fun. Like all the Time Splitters games are fun. I'd recommend Time Splitters. All right, now we're going to PS3. They're down here. Fuck. I have a PS1 game actually. Mega Man X4. My only boxed PS1 game. I love Mega Man X4. I never beat it as a kid because I was too much of an idiot. But also inside we have Namco Museum Volume 1. That was also my child. I played that a lot on like my dad's PS3. That was a good game. Both of these are good games. For PS3, we have this like GameStop copy of Metal Gear Solid Rising: Revengeance. I love Metal Gear Rising. More people should play Metal Gear Rising. It's a great game. Raiden is back, and he's more angsty than ever before. He's got a fucking sword, and he'll chop off your dick. You gotta love Metal Gear Solid Rising. Everyone hated that game because it wasn't Metal Gear, but then 5 came out, and people were like, looking back, Rising is pretty good, and I love Rising. I also love Lego Batman 2, DC Superheroes, the first Lego game where they spoke. If you don't count the Lego Island games, which a lot of people don't. Big open world, tons of DC characters, one of the best Lego games. I do prefer Lego Batman 1. but this is still a fun time. The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. I haven't played much of it. I've only played like an hour of it. I don't think fantasy games are my thing. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. I thought it was okay. Skyrim. I should give it another try. Rogue Warrior, one of the most like sweary games in the world. Every other word that comes out of the main character's mouth is like the fuck word. This game is hilarious. You can beat it in like an hour. It's short and it's funny as hell. Play this. God, please play this. This game is so fun. It's so funny. Bethesda made it. Batman, Arkham City. I don't like this game. I don't like any of the Arkham games, sadly. I can't get into them. I don't know. Maybe it's the way they're structured. I just never really was that into the Arkham games. I don't know why. I always go back to play them. And I'm like, this is it. This is the day I'm going to enjoy Batman Arkham Asylum City. I do like Asylum. I just don't really get the hype around Arkham City that much. Splinter Cell, Blacklist, the final Splinter Cell game. They're probably never going to make another one. I like this. It's like the Metal Gear Solid 5 of Splinter Cell games. A lot more focus on fast, open-edge gameplay. Probably my favorite Splinter Cell. I do like Chaos Theory, but I love Blacklist. Very fast. It's not as slow as it was. They got rid of Michael Ironside, though, because he was battling cancer. He's doing good now, so good on him. But I really do enjoy this. I haven't beat it, but I love it a lot. Silent Hill, Downpour. I love Silent Hill Downpour. People hate this game. People hated this game because when it came out, it had like really bad like running problems. It couldn't run well, but they fixed it, and now it's a great game. I love that everyone should play Silent Hill Downpour. Everyone should. It's pretty much a modern version of Silent Hill 2. This game is amazing. Everyone has to play Silent Hill Downpour. It is so good. The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. I understand the hate, but I love this game. This is probably my biggest guilty pleasure in gaming. This is probably my biggest guilty pleasure. I know a lot of people hate the controls. There's like a thing where someone will grab onto you. It's like to like look at it so you can stab them in the head. But if you push the shove button before they do, you can shove them away. It'll be fine. You won't get hit. It's a very short game. I've beaten this so many times. It's just so fun. I don't know why. It's my greatest guilty pleasure. Call of Duty World at War, one of my first Call of Duty games. Still holds up. Story is great. Multiplayer is okay. The multiplayer is way too out there. It's too unpolished. But the multiplayer is very fun. I play the story. The story is so much fun. One of the best Call of Duties. But it's not my favorite Call of Duty because Black Ops exists. I love Call of Duty Black Ops. I love the Cold War aesthetic of it. It's my favorite. I love the wacky story and the presentation. Zombies is so good in this, and the multiplayer is one of the best. This is so goddamn fun. One thing I didn't mention about World at War is you can play the campaign with a friend. A lot of people don't talk about that. You can play one of the greatest Call of Duty campaigns with a friend. I wish you could do it with this, but still, it's so good. This is still my favorite Call of Duty game. I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan, but I do love Black Ops, the best Call of Duty. Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception, Game of the Year edition, or Edition Julio Lenon. I can't pronounce it in French. We're going to try again. The PlayStation 3 signature franchise, La Série Incroyable de la PlayStation 3. Would you believe me? I said I took French in high school. This is my favorite Uncharted game. I love Uncharted 3 so much. It's my favorite. I know a lot of people like 2, but 3 is so goddamn fun. It has the best story. It has the best characters. It has the best set pieces too. The action set pieces are so good in this. Like it could never be topped. Who knows? Maybe Lost Legacy did it. I haven't played Lost Legacy. I've only played 1 through 4. But Uncharted 3, great video game. Fallout New Vegas, my favorite game of all time. This is my favorite game of all time. Fallout New Vegas, favorite game of all time. So many options, so many ways you can play, so many ways you can handle the story, so many ways you can interact with people. This game is the poster child for like player freedom. If you don't want to do someone's mission, you can just kill them and move on. Mostly. Like the Brotherhood of Steel is in this. If you don't want to deal with them, you can just blow them up and kill them all. Like, that's amazing. Like no other game would let you do. Fallout 4 certainly won't let you do that. But I can go on and on talking about Fallout New Vegas. It is my favorite game of all time. Everybody should play Fallout New Vegas. It is one of the greatest games of all time. I love this. All right. On PS3, we're going to Wii and Wii U. Resident Evil Revelations. It's okay. I do enjoy this game. I've certainly mellowed out, but it's just funny. It's a fun game to stream. But it's just a decent Resident Evil game. It felt like Resident Evil 6. That's probably why a lot of people don't like it. 4, Resident Evil. This is my favorite Resident Evil game, and my favorite way to. Smells weird, and it's my favorite Resident Evil game. My favorite way to play it too. If you're not playing on the Wii, then you are playing the game wrong. The pointer controls for this is godlike. It borderline breaks the game. If you have fast reflexes, then you can go this whole game, like just like blasting everybody away. It turns into an action game. The best way to play RE4. Lie down, PS4, Nintendo Switch, PS2, GameCube, Xbox 360, PS3 version. Zebo. 4 Resident Evil. I have a couple of these, and you stay in a GameStop gives you. The Adventures of Tintin. Childhood game that I played as a wee boy. Is terrible, but it's very funny. I would definitely play it again. Lego Star Wars. Everyone loves it. Can't say much about it. I like it a lot. I do like Lego Indiana Jones, so that's probably my favorite Lego game. The Conduit on Wii. The premiere, well, it's not the first Wii first-person shooter, but it's a first-person shooter on the Wii, made for the Wii. It's gonna be good. And it was. GameStop copy of Lego City Undercover. I lied. This is probably my favorite Lego game. It's pretty much Lego GTA or True Crime because you're playing as a cop. But it's a great game. Very fun. Very, 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 very fun Lego game. I recommend it. GameStop thing of Punch Out on Wii. I love Punch Out. The best Punch Out game is Punch Out on Wii. It's just so much fun. It's like a puzzle game. Everyone should play Punch Out. My lie. We have one more PS2 game. It's the GameStop copy of Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I don't like it. Next game. Super Mario 3D World. I liked this game when everyone hated it. I love Super Mario 3D World. That game, this game is amazing. So much fun to play with friends. It's a 3D multiplayer Mario game. Like, how could you say no to that? That's awesome. I love this game. I always will. I'm glad it's on Switch. I'm glad it's on Switch. That means more people can play it and it has online multiplayer. I'll let you be the judge if that's a bad idea or not. GoldenEye 007, one of my favorite 007 games, made for the Wii. It came out the same day as Bloodstone, another Bond favorite of mine. I play this with the GameCube controller. There is a like a remastered version of this for like PS3 and Xbox called GoldenEye Reloaded. It is the best way to play. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as this, but it just controls better. It looks better. It's pretty much Call of Duty Wii edition. I mean, it's pretty much James Bond Call of Duty edition, or opposite of that. But Daniel Craig is in this. It's not they didn't bring back Pierce Brosnan, but they got Daniel Craig, which is interesting. But I think it was necessary. But I really do enjoy GoldenEye on Wii. I play that more than like the N64 version of GoldenEye. House of the Dead 2 and 3, The Return. I love House of the Dead. House of the Dead. If Time Crisis didn't exist, this is my favorite light gun game series. Love House of the Dead. 2 and 3 are the best ones in the series. Overkill may have something to say about that. But I really do love House of the Dead 2 and 3. Perfect versions too for the Wii. Perfect versions. Very, 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 very fun. I love House of the Dead 2 and 3. I want to play Time Crisis though. They're making a remake of the first House of the Dead, but it's like an on-rail shooter again. They didn't make it a third-person shooter, which they should have. Well, I think that's it, actually. We have successfully gone through every single movie and game I own. And I'm going to go have some lunch. I'm hungry. So thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. It was great. It was great coming out. I'll see you next year. Bye-bye. Oh.